Oh boy, coming off a week with the release of Horizon Forbidden West, we are coming up on arguably an even bigger week of game releases. I didn't realize how stacked this upcoming week was, but there's big titles, there's some smaller games, JRPGs, action RPGs, racing games, everything in between. Let's get right into it and let's start things off with arguably the biggest and most anticipated game of the year, and that is Elden Ring. Now, I'm not as big of a fan of the Souls-like games as everybody else, but I would be lying if I didn't say how much I was excited for this game. From Software is a studio that just has a ridiculous track record going back to 2009. You're talking Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2. No, not everybody was as hot as on Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 3 was excellent. Bloodborne, Sekiro. And now you're taking Dark Souls, the Souls-like genre, and you're dropping it in an open world, you're throwing in a ton of content, and Elden Ring is looking to be a phenomenal game. Based on the gameplay we've seen thus far, it has looked excellent. Sure, I know some people are saying the visuals aren't blow away, but that's not really why you go into a Souls game, and I still think the aesthetics look fantastic in this game. I'm sure we're gonna get a great soundtrack. I'm sure if you want to get super invested into the lore, there's gonna be something to get super invested into, but from a gameplay standpoint, from a longevity standpoint, this is going to be a game that I know people are going to sink a lot of time into. And whether you rush through the game and beat it in 25, 30, 35 hours, or you're gonna replay the game over and over again and sink well over 200 hours into the game, there's gonna be something for a lot of people here. I know some people are just not gonna get into the Souls-like games because they see it as a little bit too challenging. Elden Ring looks to be one that is gonna be a bit more accessible. And really, if we're talking challenging games, the Souls games, in my opinion, never get unfair. You want to avoid games getting unfair. Yes, they're challenging, but they're also incredibly rewarding, and if you take your time, anybody should be able to get into it. Anybody that's at least relatively familiar with video games or takes their time with an action RPG, anybody can really get into these games, and Elden Ring dropping February 25th. Incredibly excited about that. I've got my special edition pre-order. Let me know what edition of the game you guys are picking up, as we all got screwed over of getting the premium collector's edition because Bandai Namco's storefront shut down. That's a little bit of a bummer, but hey, them's the breaks. At least we'll be able to all play the game come February 25th. Next up, we have the latest game in a long-running racing game franchise, and that is Grid Legends. Going a little bit under the radar, but Codemasters is a studio that does a pretty good job with all of their racing game outings. Grid Legends delivers thrilling wheel-to-wheel motorsport action, create dream race events, hop into live races, experience a dramatic virtual production story, and embrace the sensation of spectacular racing. Yeah, while it is going a little bit under the radar, at the same time, this game can come out, be a great racing title, and then Codemasters is going to be credited again with another solid racing game outing, and I really do expect that's what this is going to end up being. The game is scheduled to drop on February 24th. Next up, we have a game that's been a little bit in the news cycle recently, and that is Martha is Dead. Talking about the apparent censorship that is going to be on PlayStation platforms, and yes, this is a game that if you go onto the Steam page, you'll get a bigger disclaimer than usual about the game's maturity and things like that. But Martha is Dead is a dark first-person psychological thriller set in 1944 Italy that blurs the lines between reality, superstition, and the tragedies of war. The game is unshamedly authentic voice acting in Italian from the creator of Town of Light, a deep and dark, multi-layered narrative. Martha is Dead is an exploration of lost relationships and the psychological undertones of a dark period of history through the eyes of a young woman who seeks the truth, but who also has secrets of her own to hide. I think that's one of the biggest elements of this game. It's gonna be more of a psychological horror game to get into, so we'll see how it resonates with the audience. Honestly, I think the fact that it has been in the news cycle has just elevated the awareness of this game, because I didn't see a lot of people talking about this game, but now it's actually a game that a lot of people know about going into its release, so it'll be interesting to see how it performs from a sales standpoint. Nonetheless, the game is due to drop February 24th. Next up, Bungie's been in the news cycle with the acquisition by Sony, but of course, Destiny 2 getting its latest expansion in the Witch Queen. Coming February 22nd, the game will have a variety of editions, the base price being $39.99 and going all the way up to $100, but this is the definitive Destiny campaign. The game notes a new destination of a twisted wonderland of corruption and splendor, weapon crafting, create custom weaponry with unique mod, shader, and stat combination, master the new glaive weapon type, and unleash powerful melee combos, projectile attacks, and a deployable energy shield. Obviously, at this point, Destiny 2 has been one of the more long-running titles that has seen consistent updates. Seems to to be a pretty successful outing for Bungie, and I imagine the Witch Queen will fall in line. Again, it drops on February 22nd. Next up, we have a brand new JRPG in Monark. This is one that isn't getting a lot of buzz either, but it does look to be an interesting JRPG coming from NIS America. The game notes, could you face yourself and the threats around you to save the ones you love? Shin Mikado Academy is engulfed in a madness-inducing mist, and only you can save everyone inside. Develop your ego to break the pact set by the pact bearers and remove the corrupting mist. Game looks to be interesting. You know, if you're the type of person that does wait on games being discounted, I wouldn't hold your breath on a quick discount for this game just because it's coming from NIS America, and their games tend to hold up in price from my recollection, but looks to be a pretty interesting story-driven JRPG, turn-based strategy style gameplay, so that might not be up everyone's alley, but I'm excited for it. Dropping February 22nd, you know, with so many other games coming out, this one might be one that goes to the wayside for a lot of people, but definitely one to at least keep on your radar and see how the reception is overall. Next up, we have another horror title finally making the transition to PlayStation 4, already available on PlayStation 5, but Tormented Souls is getting its PS4 release come February 25th. This is a game that got a very positive reception. 2,296 user reviews on Steam, 94% of those reviews are positive. The game notes, classic survival horror is back inspired by the original Resident Evil and Alone in the Dark series. Tormented Souls modernizes with a fresh twist on the fixed perspective adventure as Caroline Walker investigate the mysterious disappearance of twin girls in a terrifying mansion-turned-hospital. The game does have a demo available on PC if you do want to check that out. Metacritic wasn't as kind as the Steam review, 75 over there, but if you're into horror games, might be another one to check out, although Martha is Dead seems to have the majority of the buzz this week, given that it is a brand new release. It is inherently going to have that advantage. Lastly, I do want to give a shout to another JRPG, an Atelier Sophie to the Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream. Yeah, what a title, but Atelier Sophie usually has that going for it. The game will be dropping on February 24th, and it is a mysterious story of a mysterious dream. This is a story about one of the adventures Sophie the Alchemist had after she left her hometown of Kirchenbau. The main features note, evolve seamless turn-based battles. The game incorporates new multi-link turn battles that feature 6 party members divided in 2 teams and begin seamlessly when player encounter enemies while exploring 2 types of the panel-based synthesis, and you can manipulate the weather to open new paths. Again, Atelier Sophie to the Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream, February 24th. And that is going to do it for me. Again, a plethora of new titles coming this week. I know Elden Ring is going to be at the top of the list for the majority of people. If you're into JRPGs, you got Monark, you got Atelier Sophie 2. If you're into racing games, you got Grid Legends. If you're into horror games, Martha is Dead. A lot of options this week, but that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.